Over 70% of adults over 60 experience digestive problems, bloating, gas, constipation, discomfort. But here's the shocker. That gut trouble isn't just in your stomach. It may be slowly blurring your vision, fogging your memory, and draining your energy without you even realizing it. The connection between your gut, brain, and eyes is real, and it's backed by research. A 2022 study from the University of Illinois confirmed that changes in gut bacteria can directly affect cognitive clarity and visual processing in seniors. When your gut's microbiome is balanced, everything flows better. Your digestion, your focus, your eyesight. But when it's off, that's when the cracks start to show. You forget words, you squint more often, you feel sluggish by noon. And no matter how many supplements or new glasses you try, something still feels off. Most people never think to look at their gut. They blame age. But what if the real fix wasn't another pill, but a simple change in your food? That's what this video is about. I'm Dr. James Porter, and for over 30 years, I've helped older adults protect their independence, starting with the gut. If this is your first time here, welcome. Feel free to hit subscribe if you're looking for practical, science-backed ways to feel clearer, sharper, and more in control after 60. Today, I'll show you 3 fermented foods that can help reset your gut-brain-eye connection. 1 is creamy and familiar. 1 is crunchy and overlooked. And the third, well, that one's the game changer. It's the most powerful of the 3, and most seniors I meet are completely ignoring it. But by the end of this video, you'll know how to use it and why it just might be the missing link between the digestion you want, the memory you miss, and the vision you need. Let's start with the first fermented food, one that's been restoring balance in the body for thousands of years. If I had to pick just one fermented food to recommend to seniors, it would be kefir. Not because it's fashionable, but because it works. And not just for your stomach. Kefir has a unique ability to calm inflammation, improve gut integrity, and restore the signals between your gut, brain, and even your eyes. Let's start with what makes kefir so different. Kefir is a cultured dairy drink, rich in live probiotics, far more strains than typical yogurt. These aren't just bacteria. They're living organisms that repair the lining of your gut and help reduce something called leaky gut syndrome, where unwanted particles slip into the bloodstream and cause inflammation across the body. Now, why does that matter for your brain? Because when the gut barrier is compromised, it triggers low-grade, chronic inflammation, something researchers now call inflammaging. And inflammation doesn't stay in the gut. It reaches the brain, fogs up your memory, slows mental clarity, and increases the risk of cognitive decline. In a 2020 study published in the journal Nutrients, researchers found that kefir reduced neuroinflammation and improved memory performance in aging mice. That's not just theory. A human study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2022 showed that seniors who consumed kefir daily for 12 weeks experienced improvements in attention and emotional balance just by changing their gut environment. But it doesn't stop there. Your eyes also depend on a calm, well-functioning gut. The retina is filled with fragile blood vessels. When gut-related inflammation enters the bloodstream, it triggers oxidative stress in these vessels, damaging the cells responsible for light detection and image clarity. This is one reason why many older adults report both digestive issues and eye strain together. Kefir helps by sealing the gut lining, feeding the good bacteria, and lowering inflammatory markers. In doing so, it helps protect both your nervous system and your vision. I remember Eleanor, 72. She told me she had trouble reading in the late afternoon. Her belly was bloated, and she often woke up tired. We didn't overhaul her diet. We simply added kefir, about half a glass in the morning with breakfast. Within a month, she said her digestion felt easier. By the second month, her eyes no longer ached in the evening. Small changes, but for her, it felt like relief. Now, if you're considering kefir for the first time, here's what I tell my patients. Start small, around a third to half a cup per day. Drink it plain if you can, or blend it into a smoothie. Look for plain, unsweetened kefir, with live active cultures listed clearly on the label. Skip the sugary, flavored ones, they cancel out the benefits. And if you're lactose intolerant, don't count kefir out. The fermentation process breaks down much of the lactose, making it far more tolerable than milk or regular yogurt. In fact, Many people who can't handle dairy find kefir causes no issues at all. What matters most is consistency. This isn't a quick fix, but when taken daily, kefir supports the entire system that connects your gut, brain, and vision. It helps quiet the internal noise that builds up with age, restoring clarity, reducing pressure, and improving focus from the inside out. So before you take another pill for your memory, or schedule that next vision check, pause and ask, have I nourished my gut today? If kefir is the strongest fermented liquid for gut repair, then yogurt is its creamy cousin with a unique ability to rebalance mood, digestion, and memory all at once. But not all yogurt is created equal. And if you've been eating sugary, fruit-flavored cups from the store, chances are you've never experienced what real yogurt can actually do. Let's break it down. Yogurt is a fermented dairy product created by bacterial cultures, primarily Lactobacillus, Bulgaricus, and Streptococcus thermophilus. These probiotics work by populating the gut with beneficial microbes that crowd out harmful bacteria, reduce intestinal inflammation, and support neurotransmitter production. That last part is where the magic happens. Because your gut doesn't just digest food, it also makes chemical messengers that affect your brain. In fact, over 90% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut. That's the same chemical that regulates mood, sleep, and appetite. When your gut is unhealthy, serotonin production drops. And when that happens, mood shifts, energy drops, sleep becomes irregular, and memory performance suffers. Yogurt helps turn that process around. A 2017 study, published in Nutrients, found that daily intake of probiotic yogurt improved psychological well-being and reduced depressive symptoms in older adults. Another double-blind, placebo-controlled trial in psychiatry research in 2016 reported that people who consumed yogurt containing live cultures for 4 weeks showed lower levels of stress and anxiety compared to those given a placebo. These changes aren't just emotional, they're biological. Probiotics in yogurt help increase levels of gamma-aminobutyric acid, or GABA, a key neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and reduces neural overstimulation. Higher GABA levels are associated with better sleep, improved focus, and reduced cognitive fatigue. And the benefits don't stop at the brain. The gut-eye axis is a growing area of study, and recent findings suggest that gut microbes play a role in regulating eye pressure, retinal health, and inflammation throughout the optic nerve. A study in Frontiers in Cellular Neuroscience in 2021 found that modulation of the gut microbiota altered expression of genes related to neuroprotection in the retina. Researchers noted a correlation between probiotic intake and improved visual performance in age-related degeneration models. In plain terms, a balanced gut can help protect your eyes from decline, and yogurt is a simple way to support that balance every single day. But here's the catch. Most yogurts on grocery store shelves aren't helpful. They're packed with sugar, artificial flavors, and thickeners that can actually worsen gut health over time. Real yogurt, the kind that supports your gut-brain-eye connection, must contain live active cultures, no added sugar, and ideally, just 2 ingredients, milk and cultures. Greek yogurt is a great option if it's plain and unsweetened. You can add a few berries, some ground flaxseed, or a sprinkle of cinnamon for taste. But skip the flavored varieties, even the ones labeled low-fat or light. They often contain more sugar than soda. If you're dairy sensitive, seek out goat's milk or sheep's milk yogurt. These are often easier to digest and still provide the same probiotic benefits. And for those who can't tolerate any dairy, coconut-based yogurts with live cultures are a decent alternative. Just check the label to avoid added gums and sweeteners. 1 serving a day, about half a cup, is enough to make a difference. Not overnight, but over weeks and months. Yogurt helps lower inflammation, calm the nervous system, and support the complex communication between your gut, your brain, and your eyes. The brain doesn't heal in chaos, it heals in calm, and yogurt helps create that calm from the inside out. If kefir resets your gut and yogurt calms your nerves, then sauerkraut is the surprise player that can sharpen your vision in ways few people expect. You've probably seen it in the back of your fridge, tangy, crunchy fermented cabbage sitting in a jar. But what you may not realize is this humble food can help protect your eyesight, especially after 60. Here's why. Sauerkraut is made by fermenting cabbage with lactic acid bacteria. During this process, the cabbage not only preserves itself, it transforms. It becomes rich in probiotics, organic acids, and enzymes that feed beneficial gut bacteria. But it also becomes an enhancer for nutrient absorption, particularly for vitamins critical to eye and brain function. Let's start with vitamin A. Your eyes rely on vitamin A to maintain a healthy retina and clear night vision. But for the body to absorb and activate this vitamin properly, it needs a healthy gut microbiome. Sauerkraut helps by improving the gut environment so that fat-soluble vitamins, like A and K2, are better digested and transported to the tissues that need them. Then there's vitamin B12. Although sauerkraut contains only trace amounts of B12, it plays a key role in how efficiently your gut absorbs it from other foods. B12 is essential for nerve health, cognitive sharpness, and even color perception in the eyes. A 2021 study in Nutrients found that probiotic fermented foods like sauerkraut improved B12 bioavailability and reduced the risk of deficiency in older adults. But the real power of sauerkraut comes from its impact on inflammation. A study published in Frontiers in Immunology in 2020 showed that lactic acid bacteria from fermented cabbage helped downregulate inflammatory markers tied to retinal degeneration. In other words, it helped protect the delicate tissues of the eye from oxidative stress. Think about that for a moment. A simple spoonful of fermented cabbage may support the health of your retina, optic nerve, and even your brain's visual cortex, all by reducing gut-driven inflammation. And I've seen this in real life. Judy was 69, a retired music teacher who told me she'd stopped reading the newspaper because the letters looked washed out. Her digestion was sluggish, and she felt tired after meals. Her eye doctor said her vision wasn't bad enough for treatment, but she was frustrated. "I feel like I'm seeing through fog," she said. We didn't reach for supplements. We added sauerkraut, just 2 tablespoons at lunch, 4 to 5 times a week. Within 3 weeks, she told me she was reading again slowly, but without strain. Her bloating eased. Her energy came back. By the second month, she joked that her refrigerator smelled weird, but her eyes felt sharper. Now, that's not a miracle. That's biology working the way it's supposed to. The key is consistency. Sauerkraut isn't about volume. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons per day is enough to shift the balance of bacteria in your gut. Always choose raw, unpasteurized sauerkraut, kept in the refrigerated section. The shelf-stable jars have been heat-treated, which kills the living cultures. You can eat it on its own, as a side dish, or mix it into salads or grain bowls. Just avoid cooking it. Heat destroys the probiotics. If the taste is too strong, pair it with avocado or a drizzle of olive oil to mellow it out. Your goal isn't to love it. Your goal is to use it like a tool, one that supports your digestion, quiets your inflammation, and helps your eyes stay sharp even as the years go by. We often think of eye health as something you fix from the outside: injections, surgeries, glasses. But what if one of the best ways to protect your vision is by healing your gut from the inside? That's what sauerkraut does. Now that you know what these foods can do, let's make it simple. Here's how I recommend my patients incorporate kefir, yogurt, and sauerkraut into their daily routine without turning it into a second job. Because healing your gut-brain-eye connection doesn't need to be complicated, but it does need to be consistent. Start your morning with kefir. About 1/3 to half a cup is plenty. Drink it on an empty stomach if you can. That gives the probiotics a head start before other foods slow them down. Choose plain, unsweetened kefir. If the taste is too strong, blend it with half a banana or a few berries. Avoid adding sugar. Sweetness kills the benefit. Around midday, switch to yogurt. I usually recommend half a cup of plain Greek yogurt with lunch or as an afternoon snack. This helps carry those calming probiotic signals through the second half of the day when energy tends to dip. Add cinnamon, chia seeds, or a spoonful of oats if you want texture. Just don't ruin it with sugary fruit toppings or flavored yogurts from the dairy aisle. In the evening, bring in the sauerkraut. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons with dinner is enough. It supports digestion overnight, reduces inflammation as you sleep, and helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A and K2. Add it on the side of your plate. Eat it cold. Never cook it. That's it. 3 simple steps. Morning. Kefir for a clean gut and better mental clarity. Midday. Yogurt to steady your mood and sharpen focus. Evening. Sauerkraut to calm inflammation and protect your vision. You don't need to be perfect. Start with 1. Build up. Pay attention to how your body responds. Some people feel a difference in a week. For others, it's a gradual shift. But almost everyone notices one thing first. They feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. If you're taking medications or have specific dietary needs, talk to your doctor before changing your routine. But for most healthy seniors, these foods are safe, powerful, and available in nearly every grocery store. You don't need exotic herbs or expensive powders. You just need a plan you can actually follow. And now you have one. We spend so much of our lives chasing answers in the wrong places. A new pill for memory, stronger glasses for vision, another fiber supplement for digestion. But too often, we treat the symptoms and forget the source. What if the clarity you're looking for, the focus, the calm, the ability to truly see and feel again, doesn't come from adding more complexity, but from returning to something simple, the gut? It's where your immune system begins, where your brain gets its chemical signals, where your eyes receive the nutrients they need to stay sharp. And when you heal your gut, everything above it starts to improve. You've now seen the science behind it. You've learned how kefir can rebuild communication between your gut and brain, how yogurt supports mood, memory, and digestion, and how sauerkraut, a food most people ignore, can help protect your vision from the inside out. 3 foods, 3 simple steps. 1. Powerful connection. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to start. Let the process be gentle. Let your body guide you. And most importantly, trust that change is still possible, no matter your age. If you've watched this far, thank you. It tells me you care about your health. It tells me you're looking for real answers, not quick fixes. And that's exactly the kind of person I created this channel for. If this video gave you something helpful, something hopeful, or something worth thinking about, feel free to like it, share it with someone you care about, and leave a comment below. I read every one. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, you're welcome to subscribe. Because this isn't just a health channel. It's a place where your second chapter can begin with clarity, confidence, and calm. And it all starts in the gut.